Hello students, welcome to Social Science online classes. In the last session, we discussed the characteristics of India's population. In this, we already discussed the five characteristics. They are large size and fast growth, second stage of demographic transition, rapidly rising density, favorable sex ratio, and bottom heavy age structure. So today we'll continue the remaining characteristics of India's population. That is sixth characteristic, that is predominance of rural population. Predominance, what is the meaning of predominance first? It means greater in number. That is, in Kannada we call it as prabalya. Okay. So the population of India, the majority population of India lives in rural areas. That is, the ratio of rural urban population of a country is the mark of the level of industrialization of that country. So Indian population is predominantly rural in nature. So it is basically, the Indian population is basically rural in nature, and 68.8% of people live in villages in India. So the process of urbanization is lower and slower. Okay. Now the next one, low quality of population. What is sixth one is predominance of rural population. Now we'll discuss the low quality of population. What is this low quality of population? See, the quality of population can be judged from the education, skills and health levels of people. Okay, these are measured through literacy and skill attainments and life expectancy. First we'll discuss low literacy level. The literacy level in India is low. Basically what it is, the literacy level, that is educated, the percentage of educated people in India is less. In 2011, 74% of the people were literate, indicating more than 31 crores of people were not able to read and write. What it is, 31 crores of people were not able to read and write in the according to the census of 2011. The female literacy rate was still lower at just 65%. From the time of ancient India, the literacy level of female is always being lower than that of the male literacy percentage in India. Okay, now coming to the next, low level of education and training. Okay, that is, the level of education and training is very low in India. The number of persons enrolled for higher education, what it is, the number of persons enrolled for higher education between group of 20 to 25 years was just 20.4% in 2012. What it is, the percentage of persons enrolled for higher education was just 20.4% in 2012. That is only only the one fourth of the developed countries percentage. Okay. While the number of doctors per thousand population is 0.7. What is the number of doctors in India? Per thousand, we find only 0.7. The number that is the number of doctors, and the number of engineers per thousand population is 210. So it is considered less as compared to the advanced countries. Okay. Now coming to the next, that is next is low life expectancy. Life expectancy, what is the meaning of life expectancy? Life expectancy is the number of years a person is expected to live life. What it is? Life expectancy is the number of years a person is expected to live life. Expectancy in India was 65.8 years in 2013. How much it was expected? How much the person can live? The expectancy in India was 65.8 years in 2013, which is lower compared to that of the developed nation. Okay. Now coming to the next, that is next characteristic, that is low work participation rate. What it is? Low. Eighth character is low work participation rate. The ratio of working population to the ratio is referred to as a work participation rate. This rate is very low in India. What is low work participation rate? The ratio of working population to the total population is called as the work participation rate. So this rate is very low in India. That is, what is the percentage of this population? This rate is only 39.8% in 2011, which shows that a high proportion of a non-working population. So what is the, which is the more here? So non-working population is more than the working population. Okay. Yes. Now the next one is ninth characteristic, that is overpopulation. Overpopulation, despite increase in food production, okay, despite increase in food production to 252 million tons in 2015 and 16, but still problems like poverty, hunger, malnutrition are still severe in India. What it is? Despite of increase in food production compared to the previous years, it was increased to 552 million tons in 2015 and 16, but still the problems like poverty, hunger, malnutrition are still severe in India. Agriculture is overcrowded. Indians suffers due to low per capita income. What it is? Low per capita income. Agriculture is overcrowded and average Indians suffer due to low per capita income. Now let me explain you what is per capita income. Per capita income is a measure of the amount of money earned per person in a country. That is how much it is a measurement of amount of money earned per person in a country. So this is very low in India. So what it is, the average Indian suffer due to low per capita income and the low standard of living, high slum population, unemployment and underemployment, etc. What India is suffering from? It is suffering from overcrowded agriculture. It also suffers from a low per capita income. India is still suffering from low standard of living, high slum population. The population people living in slum is still high in India despite of developing countries. All the measures have taken, but still the population of slum people is still high. And India is facing the problem of unemployment and underemployment. So all these indicate that our population size has crossed the tolerable limit. Okay. Now we'll speak, that is demographic. Okay, before that we'll have a look over some wonder characteristics of Indian population showed by 2011 census. Okay, have a just look. India with a population of 121.1 crores in 2011 is the second most populous country in the world, next only to China. Every sixth person in the world is an Indian. Doesn't it a wonder? Is it not a wonder thing that every sixth person in India, in the world, sorry, every sixth person in the world is an Indian. So by 2022, India will be the most populous country in the world. In India, population equivalent to that of Australia is added every year. Okay. Every year, the population, how much the population of Australia is, that much population added every year in India. The female literacy rate was still lower at just 65%. Life expectancy in India was 65.8 years in 2013. Our population size has crossed the tolerable limit. Okay, some terminological words related to population. Population explosion. What do you mean by population explosion? A sudden large increase in the size of a population is called population explosion. Then density of population. Density of a population is the number of people living per square kilometer of a geographical area. What it is? The density of population is number of people living per square kilometer of a geographical area. Then sex ratio. What do you mean by sex ratio? It refers to the number of females per thousand males. Okay, what it is? Thousand males. Then coming to the next, birth rate. The number of live births per thousand of population per year. Okay. Then death rate. What do you mean by death rate? The number of deaths per 1000 people per year. Okay, the number of deaths per 1000 people per year is called death rate. Then life expectancy. What do you mean by life expectancy? Life expectancy is the number of years a person is expected to live life. It means how many years a person lives, that is expected. How many years people in India are expected to live life, that is called as life expectancy. Okay. Now coming to the next topic, that is demographic transition. Okay. Demographic transition. First, let me explain you the meaning of demographic transition. What is demography? Okay, demography means that is the study of population. What is demography? Demography means, what is demography? Demography is the study of population. What is demography? Demography is the study of population. Then what is transition? What is transition? Demography is a study of a population. Then what is transition? Transition means shift or change or moving from one phase to another phase. What it is? It is a shift. Transition means it is a shift or change or moving from one phase to another. So in total, what it is? So in total, what it is? Demographic transition means in total what it is? It is change in population over time. What it is? It is change in population. It is change in population over time. Demographic transition means change in population over time. Okay. Now let's have a look over demographic transition, or we'll discuss the demographic transition in detail. See, there is a close relation between economic development and the population growth. Okay, there is a close relationship between economic development and population growth. As a country progresses in economic development, the growth rate of a population declines. See, as a country develops in economic development, the growth rate of its population declines, means it comes down. So this process is described through the theory of demographic. This theory is described through the theory of demographic transition. Okay. The transition of demographic features is observed to be falling in three distinct phases. So, we'll study the three distinct phases of demographic transitions. They are backward stage, developing stage, and developed stage. So, now let's discuss it one. First is, see, we'll discuss the three stages of a demographic transition, that is backward stage, developing stage, and developed stage. Okay, first one is backward stage. backward stage. It is also called as the first stage. What it is called? It is also called as the first stage. Okay. What were there? What do we find in a backward stage? Poverty, unemployment. Why we call it as a backward stage? Because the country will be suffering from poverty, unemployment, backward education and health facilities. Also, it will be suffering from a superstition, traditions, and high birth and high death rate. So now we'll discuss this in detail. So this backward stage, okay, this backward stage is also called as first stage. Okay, this is also called as first stage, or we also call it as stagnant population. What we call it as stagnant population. Okay, so this took place from 1900 and this took place from 1901 to 1921. When it was backward, that is 1901 to 1921. It is also called as a stagnant population. This period is called stagnant population. Okay, that is backward. Stagnant population. This period is called a stagnant population. In this period, the population growth was very low. How was the population growth? Very low. The population growth was very low. It was more or less stagnant. Means it was not growing and it was not less. Means it was low. The population growth was very low. So you see here, there are three main causes of a population change. What are the three main causes for the population change? First one is birth rate. Okay, birth rate, death rate and migration. Three main causes for the three main causes of a population change is, first one is birth rate and death rate and migration. Any country's population will be stagnant if the birth rate is counterbalanced by the death rate. Why the population rate will be stagnant, you tell me? Any country's population will be stagnant if the birth rate is counterbalanced by the death rate. In other words, in a given population, if there are 10 new births and 10 deaths, there will be hardly any change in the population. See, if there are 10 births, okay, 10 births and 10 deaths, the number of birth rate is equal to the number of a death rate. Okay, so if the birth rate and the death rate are equal, then hardly any change in the population. So what it is, in other words, in a given population, if there are 10 new births and 10 deaths, there will be hardly any change in the population. This is what called stagnant population. So from 1901 to 1921, from when it is, so from 1901 to 1921, India's population was stagnant. There are some solid reasons behind high birth rates and high death rates. What it is? There are some solid reasons behind high birth rates and high death rates. See, at that time, that is from 1901 to 1921, India was under the British rule. Okay, India was under the British rule. So the distribution the distribution system of food and other things, food, shelter and medicine was not so well. So what happened, more number of births is to take place, at the same time more number of deaths also used to take place, hardly any change in the population. So all these factors were responsible for the high birth rates and death rates. Which are the factors? That is, no proper education, no proper supply of distribution system of food and shelter and medicines and other facilities were not provided for the Indians. So these factors were responsible for the high birth rates and the high the population of India was in a backward stage, that is before independence. And the reasons for these were poverty was there, unemployment was there, backward education and health facility, superstitions and traditions were there, and high birth and high death rate was there. Because of this, the Indian population was stagnant. Okay, dear students. There are still two more stages we need to discuss. That is, two more stages we need to discuss, that is developing stage and developed stage. So, we'll wind up the session here. In the next session, we'll come up with the other two stages of a demographic transition, that is developing stage and developed stage. And also we'll discuss reproductive health and quality of a population. Okay, we'll wind up the session here. Thank you and have a good day.